Welcome to the Western Association for College Admissions Counseling College Fair. I'm so excited that you're joining us. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as the facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first, you can use the microphones here to talk to our representatives. Second, you can also use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Third, this is just one of many different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded and will be available. With all that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter, Eastern Washington University.
Thank you, Jasmine. Let me go ahead and get my screen shared here. Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Jennifer and I represent Eastern Washington University. And what you're looking at here is actually our online lookbook. And what I would recommend is to grab that URL for future reference because I definitely won't be able to cover everything today. So just grab that and keep it for later, basically. Just to give you a quick overview, if you don't know anything about Eastern, we are located in Cheney, Washington. So yes, we're in Eastern Washington. If you guessed that, you're right. We're just outside of the state's second largest city of Spokane. And yes, we do have direct flights to and from here from major cities, including Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, and so on. Just saying. And we are a medium-sized university with about 12,000 total students and about 2,000 total squirrels. Our campus stretches out over 500 beautiful acres, 300 beautiful acres actually. So it's a lot like a garden or a park. And we also have a campus in Spokane, and I'll touch on that a little bit later. So something that sets Eastern apart, other than what you can read here, we really pride ourselves on our commitment to community and ensuring student success during their time here. So you really feel that from your professors and as well as administration. They're really invested in making sure that you're successful, both in the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. So that's something that I hear over and over from current students and alumni, is really that Eastern just kind of felt like a second home to them while they were here. So just wanted to highlight a couple of unique programs. We have a pretty special forensic science program because the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab is actually right across the street from our campus. And that means that they're regularly coming in as guest lecturers and providing internships for our students. So you'll get the opportunity to work on real forensics for real crimes. And this is the case for a lot of our health-related majors, where, for example, we are one of the only bachelor's programs in the state that actually allows our bachelor's level students to work on real human cadavers. Also important to note is that all of our majors in the School of Business are AACSB accredited, so our students do tend to have better salaries, and just in general, they perform better in programs than programs that actually don't have that AACSB accreditation. So we do have top 5 majors, and I'm lagging here a little bit, but we have several popular programs, which you can see here, but we also have over 100 programs for you to choose from. So there's definitely going to be something for you. So in addition to our academics, the Eastern and Cheney area is an awesome, safe, welcoming community. You're really going to feel, like I mentioned before, kind of like you're part of a big family while you're here. So whether it's sports you're into, sororities and fraternities, outdoor living, there's definitely going to be plenty of ways for you to meet friends and meet people who are into the same things as you. So in addition to it's actually almost 200 clubs and organizations, we also have an award-winning recreation center, complete with an ice rink, a climbing wall. We have a brand new student union building. We also offer a multicultural center, pride center, disability support services, and the list goes on and on. So really, no matter where you're at, we're definitely meet you there. So like I mentioned before, Eastern is pretty ideally located. We're rural and urban at the same time. And that's one thing that I just love about this area is that kind of balance. So the same time it might take for me to get to my favorite hiking trail, I can also be at my favorite coffee shop. So I'm really getting the best of both worlds. So I mentioned briefly before about the Spokane campus, and that's what you're looking at here. This is the Catalyst building. It's a brand new state-of-the-art building with a net energy footprint of 0, making it one of the most sustainable buildings in the whole country. So we're pretty proud of it. It's home to several of our programs, including business, computer science, as well as electrical engineering and some others. Now I know cost is really important to you, so I wanted to just briefly touch on that as well. This image that you see here is our in-state student kind of comparison, but obviously for you being from out of state and from students from your particular area, we offer what's called a WUI. You probably heard of that. WUI is a scholarship that is awarded automatically. So there's not really any additional application you need to fill out or essay you need to write. The full WUI scholarship is actually up to $15,000, and it's primarily based on your GPA. Something to note is that the priority deadline for that is always going to be February 1st. And so just make sure you're getting your application for admission on time to be considered for that scholarship. So now that you know a little bit more about our community, our cost, our programs, there's some next steps that you can take. You can apply from here. You can take a virtual tour from here. If you're feeling really brave, you could register and come on up for a personal tour, an in-person tour, or you can just contact us if you want some more information. So that is it for me. Thank you so much for your time. I really hope to see you all next fall, and go Eagles.
Thank you. Up next, we have Gonzaga University.
Hi, everybody. Let me just get my screen shared here and we will get going. Cool. So welcome. My name is Aaron Danowski. I'm an admission counselor at Gonzaga University. We're a medium-sized liberal arts Catholic university in the Jesuit tradition located in Spokane, Washington. This is a picture of our beautiful campus. We're about a 15-minute walk from downtown Spokane. There's a great Centennial Trail that runs right next to campus that will drop you down in Riverfront Park. We have some of the largest urban waterfalls in the country, lots of green. It's a really lovely place. Like Eastern Washington Rep was just mentioning, Spokane is the best of both worlds. You get medium-sized city and all the amenities that come with it, while also being close to nature. So Gonzaga, as I mentioned, is a Jesuit university, and that just means that we have a deep commitment to educating the whole person. We care about helping you to become a leader. We want you to be a person for and with others. That's one of our mantras as a Jesuit university. We want you to help understand how you can use your unique talents and gifts to go out and make the world a better place. And we're going to be in a great position to help you do that. We've got 5 different academic schools offering 49 majors in the College of Arts and Sciences, the School of Business Administration, our School of Ed, Engineering and Applied Science, and Nursing and Human Physiology. All of these programs are really oriented around hands-on learning and learning by doing. So over 60% of our students will complete internships while they're here. You'll have access to faculty and staff because our average class size is about 23. My largest class while I was going here as a student was 40, and my smallest was a class of 1. I got to work with a professor on a research project, and it was just a fantastic way to accentuate my academic experience while I was here. We've got 2 direct admit programs. So our School of Engineering and Applied Science, we do encourage folks to apply directly just so that you can graduate in 4 years. And our School of Nursing, which is our most competitive program. That is also a direct admit program. A little bit about our community. We're about 5,000 undergraduate students. So I like to say we're big enough that you won't recognize everybody on campus, but we're small enough that as you're walking to class, you'll definitely see some familiar faces. We have 38 faiths represented on campus. So even though we're a Catholic university, we are welcoming to all. We have all sorts of opportunities to get involved and explore your faith and engage in interreligious dialogue, in addition to going on, ministry retreats and lots of different ways to get involved if faith is a big part of your life. Like I mentioned, our average class size is about 23. 82% of our students come from over 200 miles away. So the biggest thing, the most important thing to recognize about us is that we're a really tight-knit community that extends all through the week, all through the year, and we have big school spirit. So you're going to be able to go and watch one of the best basketball teams in the world perform day in and day out for free as a student, but you're also going to be able to cheer on all of our other Division I sports and participate in intramurals, join a club sport, and be part of over the 140 different organizations and clubs on campus that constitute our student life. So the other thing that is kind of distinctive about our education is that we offer study abroad programs for just about every major. So over 60% of the students who come to Gonzaga will study abroad at some point in their 4 years here. That's well above the national average of 9%. We even have programs available for engineers, and we have a flagship program over in Florence, Italy, which is a sister campus. We have Gonzaga faculty that will teach you there, but we have programs in over 30 countries that are sponsored by Gonzaga, which means that you won't pay any more for tuition abroad than you would being at home. Our community we have lots of different ways to help support you as you make the transition from high school to college. We have a Center for Student Academic Success that will work with you and make sure that you are prepared and to succeed in college. And the other thing is we're one of the top institutions in the nation for undergraduate teaching. We were just ranked the 13th best in the nation. And that really speaks to the commitment our professors have to working with you. So not only do you benefit from the small class sizes, but you also will get the personalized attention of having 100% faculty-led, faculty-taught classes, and 100% of your faculty will have office hours. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, we would love for you to apply. We would love for you to come and visit us. The deadline to apply to us is December 1st. We're on the Common application. We offer merit scholarships automatically, ranging between $14,000 and $25,000. The average need-based, the average merit aid and or grants that we will offer to students is about $26,000 a year. So don't let the sticker price fool you. We offer great value. We're one of the best opportunities to advance your education in Washington State. And we would love to welcome you to campus and show you a little bit more about what it means to be a ZAG.
Thank you. Up next, we have Seattle University.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jasmine. And welcome to all of y'all for being here. Thank you for being here today. My name is Nicole. I use she, her, pronouns, and I am an admissions counselor at SU. Please send any questions you have in the chat, and I'll be sure to follow up by the end of the 6x6. To get us started, I'm going to share some basic facts about who we are and what might shape your experience at Seattle U. The red border here is our entire campus nestled in the heart of the ever-inclusive Capitol Hill. What's really special about our campus is our connection with the greater city of Seattle. Although we are interconnected in many ways, Seattle U's campus is truly an oasis in the city. Seattle U is a Jesuit Catholic university. The Jesuits were founded 500 years ago with the goal of a transformative and holistic education for each student, which is really what we aim to maintain to this day. You'll see some helpful numbers here. Seattle U is considered a mid-sized university. We have 7,300 students, 4,800 of those students being undergraduates, while the rest are a blend of grad and law students. All of our classes are 100% taught by SU faculty. You'll find your average class size at SU is about 18 students with an overall ratio of 11 students to 1 professor campus-wide. At SU, our goal in the classroom is to empower purposeful leaders to serve the greater good. I'm going to touch on some highlights that really help propel our students forward in academics here. So starting off with our direct entry programs, Seattle U offers the distinct advantage of considering freshman applicants for direct admission to all majors. Accordingly, there are specific requirements for admission to certain majors, which I'll go over later. At the center of Seattle U's academic experience is the core curriculum. With an emphasis on rigorous contemporary courses, the core is comprised of 12 classes taken over 4 years. These classes are designed by faculty members who have used their expertise to shape the content of each class, and also the curriculum invites students to engage with learning about themselves, their communities, and the world. We also have resources on campus for pre-professional advising. These subject areas include pre-law, pre-health, pre-vet, anything really that's continuing your education after completing your bachelor's degree. We have an amazing office that assists you with that pre-professional advising. Moving on to our pre-major studies program, we don't like to call our students undecided because there are plenty of subjects you are all super passionate about. So with the help of our pre-major advisors, they are there to support you as you enter college and help you declare a major by the end of your sophomore year that still has you on track to graduate in 4 years. Oops. When you arrive at SU, we want to make sure you're finding your home away from home. To help with that, we have over 150 student clubs and organizations that range in focus from community service to identity-based groups and outdoor recreation, so many more as well. We want to ensure that you really find a community where you feel at home to help find your passion, your purpose, and the people you can really build these connections with. We have an array of cultural and identity-based groups so students can join and find that haven on campus as well. I do want to chat a little bit about the holistic approach we use to application review. Essentially, when I'm reading your application, I am not laser focused on your GPA and grade trend. I truly take everything in your file into consideration. So working along this circle here, we have academic rigor, grade trend, and overall GPA to start. I do need to look at these things so that I know when I am inviting you to campus, you'll continue to be academically successful and thrive within the classroom. Your rigor shows us what kind of courses you're choosing to put yourself in. Are you challenging yourself a bit, taking those difficult courses, the APs, the honors? We want to know. For your grade trend, we want to see your consistency during school. Did you have a dip in your grade sophomore year due to an unforeseen event? We encourage y'all to reach out and tell us about those things because we truly can take that into consideration when reviewing your file. Our middle GPA is about a 3.4 to 3.9, but we review all GPAs no matter what level they are at. At SU, we are test optional, so there is no advantage or disadvantage in submitting your SAT or ACT scores. Next on the circle here, we have our major prerequisites. These prereqs will be critical for folks that are interested in programs that are math and science heavy. The prereqs really do vary from major to major, so I encourage you to look on our website into the major you're curious about to find more info. The last 3 sections on our circle here are all sections within the common application. For our leadership and activities, this is a place to tell us everything you're involved in outside of the classroom. For the essay, since we're already getting everything you're involved in, be sure to use this space to be creative and tell us something more about you. For the last section, the letters of recommendation, we ask for a letter from a teacher and also a counselor. For our annual cost of tuition, we are looking at something around $67,000. I want to stress that each total estimated cost varies per student. I recognize SU sticker price can be super intimidating. With that being said, 91.5% of our students on campus are receiving significant aid. We look at financial aid in kind of 2 pillars. First, we have merit scholarship, which is money you receive directly from SU. And the second pillar is money you receive based on filing the FAFSA, which I implore you all to apply to. There's money just waiting for your education, and you don't know what you're going to be getting until you apply for that. And those 2 pillars become your financial aid package. And to this package, you can add any outside scholarships as well. But apart from that, this wraps up my portion of the 6x6 StriveScan session. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Jasmine for facilitating and your team members for putting this awesome program on. I appreciate you all for hanging tight with me. And yeah, don't hesitate to reach out via email or phone. And I look forward to connecting with y'all in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Seattle University. Up next, we have the University of Washington.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Ruff. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm an admissions counselor at the University of Washington. I'm also a first-gen Husky alumna. I'm going to talk a lot about student life and try to plug in my own experiences, but primarily talking about the resources on campus for the next couple of slides. So thanks for joining me. So the University of Washington is located in Seattle, just 15 minutes north of the downtown area. We have our very large and beautiful campus, as you can see from the pictures, in a neighborhood called the U District. And the UW is very scenic. We're in an urban setting, and you can study under the cherry blossoms if you're interested in doing that over the spring. You can go paddleboard or kayak after a class, and then of course watch any waterfront football games that we have that are on the kind of outskirts of campus itself. We do have a library that's very popular, and you can definitely study in there, or if you're interested in reading, just spending the day in there, that will remind you of Hogwarts in general. So it's a really, really nice place. The UW is a large public research university, and we're really proud of the full breadth of research opportunities that are available in every field. So if you are interested in multiple disciplines, don't worry, we have you covered. You have an opportunity to make a significant impact to our communities. There are students who research sustainability. There are varying degrees of research along with pain studies. There's even research on what makes an innovative team. So many of our research opportunities that are available on campus are also woven into our 600 plus study abroad programs. So research is available to all students as soon as their freshman year. And of course, we have a database and advisors that will help you every step of the way. And then finally, we have over 180 different majors offered on our campus, and many paths can lead from a single interest. So there are majors within the arts and humanities, the design field, business, social sciences, computing related. I know some of y'all are very much interested in that area. And then of course, the environmental studies. There's no shortage of options, especially if you're interested in exploring and wanting to go again and look at different disciplines, major minors, double majoring, and just wanting to find an intersection of your interest through exploration. College is definitely going to be full of excitement and opportunities and challenges. You'll be living in a new space, a new space with new people and new responsibilities. And the UW has many services to help students stay healthy, whether that be emotionally, mentally, and physically. We also want to ensure that you're able to build community on campus. And one way to get started is to consider your housing options. You are going to have the option to live on or off campus that first year, but I encourage everyone to consider living on campus. That way you have the chance to meet with other new Huskies, establish friend groups, and just be in the know of what's going in and around campus itself. And another great way to start building that community is to take a look at student groups. Student groups are a really great way to make the University of Washington feel like a smaller space and for you to connect with other Huskies who have similar interests. So we have groups that are academically focused, that may be research-based or even major-based, like the Association for Women in Communication. We have All of Greek Life. We have ethnic and cultural-based clubs, and within that, they range anywhere from dance to pre-professional as well. So Black Student Union, First Generation Huskies for any first generations out there like me. If you're a mixed student like I am, Mixed Student Union as well. And then, of course, any type of like-minded interest groups. My personal favorite that I heard about recently is the Lettuce Eating Club, which was started by one of our tour guides. And he says that if you win the lettuce eating competition at the end of the year, you actually get to be president for that following year. So just a lot of fun things going on and around campus. And again, just ways for you to connect with students outside of the classroom. And of course, we're committed to your professional success on our campus, and there are going to be many paths to enrich your college experience, such as internships that you can take advantage of, and then study abroad programs as well. 68% of our students graduate with internship experience, and about 16% to continue on into grad school. So for those interested in branching outside of the campus, we have over 600 different study abroad programs you can choose from. And then of course, for those interested in grad school programs, we have pre-professional advising such as pre-med and pre-law as well. Now let's talk about how you can join the PAC or become a Husky. Our application checklist is pretty straightforward. We are a coalition exclusive school, so we house our one and only application. It's available to all high school students. So if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior joining us, even senior, that profile piece is going to be open for you. The remaining 20% of your application is the UW questions section, and that will come available September 1st of your senior year. So for my seniors in the room, that is the entire application is open and ready to go for you. And the UW questions will ask you for your first choice, second choice, major interest, since that is a factor in our admissions review. We'll ask you to submit your personal statement and your short response statement. And then if you're interested in interdisciplinary honors, that's where you'll submit your application for that as well. The application fee is $80 for international students or students needing an F1 visa to attend the UW, it's $90. And we have fee waivers available in the program as well. So make sure you're checking those out. For our freshman review, we break it up into two categories that you see here. We have a lot of virtual sessions around this. So if you're interested in learning more of how we review our students, feel free to connect with me or Kelsey. And then just a reminder for our seniors, our application is due November 15th. So make sure you submit it no later than 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. And then I'll leave you with our general contact line. Definitely go out and find your admissions counselor, use the Find Your Admissions Counselor tool for the UW. And then of course, I'll share my contact information in the chat as well. But thank you all for listening.
Hello, everybody. Give me a chance here to share my screen. One second. Give that one more try. Apologies for the slow start there. My name is Matthias Caldwell. I am the Regional Admissions Counselor for Washington State University, Pullman. I am based in the Sacramento area of California, so I work with a lot of students in Northern California and Northern Nevada. WSU Pullman is located in Pullman, Washington. It's a small college town on the eastern side of the state of Washington, right along the border with Idaho. It's about a 5.5-hour drive across the state from Seattle, and it's about an 1.5-hour drive south of Spokane. So we are a rural college town. We're not in an urban area, but we are within touching distance of Spokane, so that's available on a day trip. I always like to start with this kind of aerial shot of campus because I feel like it gives a really good indication of what you can expect from WSU. As you can see, it's that kind of classic red brick building feel, lots of trees. It's a beautiful campus set against a really picturesque background. We are in the Palouse region of Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho, so there's lots of rolling hills and agricultural land, and the mountains aren't too far away too if you'd like to do any kind of outdoor activities. We are the classic college town in really every sense of the word, you know, Pac-12 Division I sports, Greek life, strong academics, and a residential campus where everybody is living on campus or very close to campus, making it easy to, you know, plug in, find your people, find your community right off the bat. It really is one of those places where everything you do, the people you meet, the places you go, places you eat, it all revolves around the college life and the college experience. As I said, it's a small college town. You know, there's really only about 34,000 people in town, and almost 20,000 of those are going to be students because that is the size of our campus right there. So it's nearly 2/3 of town, and the rest of town is faculty, staff, their families, and some diehard locals who love the Cougs. So it really is one of those places where the entire community pulls behind the university in many different ways, from sports teams to clubs to, you know, attending festival, whatever is going on in the area, the entire community is usually right behind it, which can be a lot of fun. It's a really fun place to attend college for your 4 years. We have the Tier 1 research designation as well. So that means there's lots of government resources and funding going into our programs, our facilities. This allows us to get our students into a lot of hands-on learning opportunities, things like undergraduate research, lab work, field work, internships, and it allows us to do that at an earlier stage. You know, you don't have to wait till you're an upperclassman or a master's student. You could potentially get some of those hands-on learning opportunities as first semester freshmen. Tier 1 designation also means that our faculty are conducting their own cutting edge research, and so they are critically immersed in their fields of study. They're not lay people. They know they know their topics inside and out, and this can benefit the classroom as well. The Tier 1 designation also means that we're, of course, going to be great in a lot of those hard sciences. So anything from agricultural and biosciences to things like engineering. Our engineering department is stellar with really almost any type of engineering you might be looking for. Our health science department as well is very, very strong. We have our own medical school, pharmacy school, nursing school, veterinary school, and a whole host of pre-professional programs in pre-tracks like the therapy, optometry, dentistry, things like that. But just because we have that Tier 1 designation and a real strength in the hard sciences does not mean that that's all we have to offer. We have over 200 fields of study, so there are many different ways that students can be successful and find their fit academically at WSU. Things like our business department, our communications department are very strong and tend to attract quite a lot of students. We bring in a lot of students for things like psychology, criminology, sociology. Our foreign language and cultures department is very robust compared to many other universities. And so there's a lot of ways that you can find the right fit for you from an academic standpoint. We have a great honors college that does not cost anything extra, and it's compatible with all majors. So I recommend checking that out if you are a higher achieving student. Pac-12 Division I sports are a big part of our ethos on campus. I mentioned those briefly, but that is something that students are excited to be attending, but it also impacts some of the programs we offer as well. Things like the sports sciences, athletic training are going to be able to work, with those top quality athletes. And there's over 400 different student-led clubs and organizations on campus, everything from an academic club for every major to, in recent years, we've had clubs like Humans vs. Zombies, the Peanut Butter and Jelly Club, the Hammock Club. We've had the Raptor Club for people that are more environmentally kind of conscious and want to help rehabilitate injured animals and release them back into the wild. So there's really a lot of different ways that you can invest in the campus community and get involved. We do have two main out-of-state awards that students from states outside of Washington tend to receive. The first of those is the WUI Award. It is for anybody with a 3.4 cumulative unweighted GPA or better, and it does knock $11,000 per year off of your tuition all 4 years, bringing tuition for a WUI student down to about just around $15,000 per year. And then the Cougar Award is for anybody with a 3.0 to 3.39 cumulative unweighted GPA, and it does knock $7,000 per year off of your tuition all 4 years. So some pretty significant value in these awards, and they are auto awards. As long as you apply before our January 31st priority date and have been admitted and met those qualifications, you will be awarded the award. So it's kind of nice to know that. And I will wrap up with that, and thank you for listening to me, and I will pass it off to the next person in line.
Thank you, Washington State. Up next, we have Whitworth University.
Hello, everyone. I am just going to share my screen. Great. Welcome. My name is Connor DeLapp. I am an admissions counselor at Whitworth University. Whitworth is a private liberal arts university. We're a residential university located in Spokane, Washington. So again, the best of both worlds, a medium-sized city, both rural and we have that city feel, which is great. Let's see. Our mission is to equip our diverse student body with an education of both the mind and the heart. So what that means is not only are you going to be challenged on campus to grow mentally and intellectually, but we do challenge our students to grow holistically as an individual through faith-based learning. A little bit about our students. We have a student enrollment of about 2,300 with a student to faculty ratio of 11:1. We like to keep that number low, and that number is intentional because we want our students to grow alongside their professors. We love building those relationships, and we want to make sure students are connecting one-on-one, and they don't just feel like they're a number on a piece of paper or a student sitting in the back of a lecture hall. They are known and they are seen, and so we really appreciate those relationships that are built within the classroom. A little bit about our student success. 84% of our students finish in under 4 years or less, and that number is important to us for a couple of reasons. Number one, we know that going to college is a large financial investment, so we want to make sure that you are in and out within those 4 years, so you're not having to pay for that extra semester or two beyond. And we also know, as you know, the second reason, we know that there's a lot of great opportunities beyond your 4 years at school. So whether that be internships, grad school, a great job, we tell our students, hey, we love you. We're gonna make sure you're prepared, but we want you in and out in 4 years so you don't miss out on what's next. And then that leads to our success rate as well, which sits at 95%, meaning that within 9 months of graduation, our students are working, they are volunteering, they are in grad school or in some internship program within the first 9 months of graduation. Here we have a list of our majors and programs on campus. There are over 100 of them we offer here at Whitworth. And what's great about being a part of a liberal arts university like Whitworth is just because you'll be majoring in one of these chosen fields, that doesn't mean you're only limited to classes in those fields. We make sure that our students are well-rounded in social sciences, English, reading, history, all that, to make sure that our students are equipped for whatever the next chapter of their lives have for them. A little bit about student life for those who are wanting to get plugged in on campus. We have a lot of great opportunities for our students, whether that be through clubs, intramurals, varsity athletics, performing arts. We have over 10 on-campus housing dorms that we require our students to live in for the first 2 years they're on campus. And so wherever that may be, wherever you may be on campus, there's always a great way to get plugged in, get connected with the students around you. And we are very competitive too. I will say a proud fact that you see up in the top right of the screen, our athletic teams have won 12 consecutive all sports trophies in a row for Division III sports. So we love to cheer on our Bucks, and we love to watch our sports teams. So a lot of great ways to get plugged in. Here is just a little bit of information as far as what you'll need to apply to Whitworth. We are on the Common App, and you can apply online. So those are your two options. And really all we need from you is your transcripts. We are test optional, we are essay optional, and our academic recommendations are also optional. And those are optional because we know that it can be, we don't want anything to hold you back from applying. We want to make sure that you can get your application in as quick and as easy as possible. And so if you are looking to apply, just send in your application and your transcript, and that's all we need. Of course, if you send in those other pieces, we will take a look at those. Again, we want to make sure that you have everything you need to apply as quickly and easily as possible. And then here are just some important deadlines as well. We have our early action starting November 1st. Now, early action does not mean early binding. So you can apply to Whitworth and be admitted as early as the fall. And you do not have to commit to Whitworth by any means, which is something to keep in mind. Regular admission deadline is March 1st. And then we recommend that you get in the FAFSA because we will start rolling out our financial aid packages on February 1st. And so 100% of our students are receiving financial aid, and on average, that financial aid is about $36,000. So it is affordable. Don't let the sticker price fool you. And these are just a list of some of our scholarships that we offer. Our #1 scholarship is the university scholarship that you will receive just for applying to Whitworth. And I will leave it there. If you have questions, feel free to enter those into the chat. We'd love to answer those for you.
Thank you so much. So that concludes the presentation portion of our session today. But now we're going to transition to the Q&A portion. I want to encourage all of our panelists to return. Feel free to turn on your camera, and I am going to pose a question to the group. Our panelists will respond to the question in the order in which they presented. The question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
So this is a really great question. And the main thing that I would recommend is to figure out what you value in a school. So do you value location? Do you value the academics? Is price a big thing for you? Is the opportunity, maybe internships or jobs, is that an important part for you? So just figure out what you value, and then you can actually start kind of chunking away at your list and creating even like a ranking system if you want. So something a little bit more tangible.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer, Jennifer. I think my answer here is to build on that. If you have the means, go and visit campus, because you can get a feel for a place on paper. You can, kind of get a sense of what they are really all about, but stepping foot on campus, looking at it through your own eyes, meeting with students, it's a much deeper experience. I know personally, when I stepped foot on Gonzaga, I knew it was the place I wanted to be. And I was always skeptical when people would tell me, oh, you'll just know. And I was like, well, it actually did work out that way. So if you have the means, but do a virtual visit if you can.
Definitely would echo both of my colleagues, I would say here. Something that I like to share with students is that we don't force ourselves to fit into our clothes. So we shouldn't force ourselves to fit into like what the ideal candidate or applicant is like from each school. So what I encourage you to do is be sure that like, it's really what Jennifer said, make sure you know what you're really seeking. Like, don't try to force yourself into the mold of what the college is looking for. Really find something that's perfectly tuned to you, because that school does exist.
Yeah, I mean, all great advice. For me, I just like to add and reiterate, for students who are looking at colleges, make sure you have a full idea of your financial picture. I think so many students self-select out of submitting a FAFSA application or even looking at WAFSA for a Washington State residence. So if your state has a program like WAFSA, take a look at it, apply for the FAFSA. That way, whatever options they give you, you can deny if you choose not to go in that path, but at least you know what is going to be available to you and how much you have to pay for college as well.
I think my piece of advice would be not to get tunnel vision. And what I mean by that is that sometimes we talk to students who are so excited about one aspect of a college that they forget that they may change their mind about some things down the road. If you select a college purely because it has this one major you're very excited about right now, what happens in 2 years' time if you decide that's not the right fit for you anymore? Is the entire school going to be the right fit still or not? So try to pick and decide on where you're going to go to college based on multiple factors, financial fit, location fit, academic fit, social fit, all sorts of things that are going to be able to help contribute to an overall good fit for you in your college experience.
Again, all great advice. And just to reiterate, really what sold me on going to school was just being on campus. And I would just highly recommend, if you're able to take the time to tour, take the time to visit. It's easy to just read all about what a school has to offer, and on paper they can look one way, but when you get on campus and when you feel the culture and when you are able to experience what campus life is like, that can really sell you and that can really make a difference.
Great advice from the entire group. Thank you all for sharing. So that concludes our college fair for today. But I do have a few closing announcements. As you exit from this session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 5 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful for us as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings. Also want to remind you that you can sign up for additional sessions by visiting our registration site. And finally, you will have access to this recording by visiting the website on your screen. Also want to thank all of our amazing panelists. Thank you for sharing wonderful and extremely helpful information about your institution. Thank you to our attendees for taking time out of your busy day to join us. With all of that said, I hope everyone has a great evening. Thank you.
Thanks, Jasmine. Have a great night.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.